Hey, it's Jimbo Kovacic, and I got the honor to talk to my good friend, Chinadu. I want to make sure I always get kind of like, I want to say it right. I don't want to disrespect him because I know so many people say it wrong. Say the full name for everybody out there. I know this is your DVD and your special crowd, but just for my sake, just to hear it again.
Yeah, no problem. The full name.
Yeah.
It's Chinadu Ngazi Ogu.
Okay.
The full name.
I'm gonna stick with Chinadu.
Yeah, just that's right there.
And we talked about this before too. What's the worst pronunciation anybody has ever said just to botch your name?
Oh, hands down, Shanae. They said Shanae. They just looked at it. Shanae.
How did they get that from that?
I don't know. I think they just saw. They just got frustrated. They started good. It's like Shanae. Are you here?
Frustrated and lazy,
Yes.
right? That Shanae. So how's everything been going for you?
It has been. It's been 2020. I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, that's a perfect answer. It's been 2020.
Yeah.
But we've talked about how you kind of, before you and I, how you started, and I think it's such an amazing story. And I know you've probably told some of your audiences that, but just for everybody out there, just to get a record, you did not start in comedy. You are from a Nigerian family who doesn't, we want you to be the next Seinfeld. That's not like in their vocabulary at all, right?
At all. It was not at all. And my dad especially, he wanted me to be a doctor, a doctor the whole time. So I realized I wanted to be a stand-up comedian when I was 16. I hosted my talent show at Chavez High School. Shout out to people who go to Chavez High School, by the way. Go Lobos.
Yes.
I did it there, and my dad found out what my plans were. I started doing stand-up. I did my talent show, and I started doing like little hole-in-wall spots in like the area. Wherever they'll let me do a show, I had friends who had a family gathering, whatever. I'd go out in the backyard, do a show.
Do your comedy?
Stand-up, I was ready. And, the year is 2005. I'm getting ready. I graduated high school, and in my head, I'm about to go out here, and I'm going to take a year off from college. I'm not going to go to college for a year.
How did that go? Tell your parents you're going to take a year off from college.
Whew, man, we going to get there. The plan was to take that year off, work on this, do comedy, because at the time, one of my friends in high school who's a part of the AV department, he was telling me that there was this new thing that they created called MySpace. This new little thing called MySpace going on. He said, and people are like using that to like kind of talk to people online and things like that. He's like, you put your comedy on there, that would be good. I was like, I'm gonna look into this too. I was looking at that, and there was other new thing that was in development, but it was only for college kids. This little thing called Facebook.
Yeah.
At the time, little thing called Facebook.
Thing, just a little thing. Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a year off. I'm gonna do comedy. I'm gonna believe in myself, and like I'm gonna make what I wanted to do. I wanted to be the next Dave Chappelle for me. I wanted to go out there. I wanted to do stand-up comedy. I want to have a funny skit show. This is when Chappelle show was on.
Yeah, it was huge at that time.
Huge. So I was like, I want that.
Yes.
And my dad found out about this plan, and he put the fear of every god in me.
He was
Jesus, Buddha, everybody, all of them. So he pretty much scared me out of my dream. That was my first mistake.
So you went straight to college?
Yeah, I went to college. He's
okay.
Like, yeah, you're going to fail. You're going to fall flat on your face, and you will die. Do you want to die? Go to school.
That was the actual.
Yes,
that was the actual statement.
Do you want to die? Do you want to die? Do you want to die? Then go to college. I was like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
Nobody wants to die, right?
Yes, I went to college. I let him bully me into going after what he wanted me to do. And the thing is, I love my dad though, but parents want what's best for you though. But to him, all he knew was go to college, get an education. That's all that he knew coming from the world he came from.
Yeah.
So I went to U of H. I love my experience there. I love U of H. Go Cougs. I love going there. But I hated it because I wasn't there for what I wanted. I was there to make my dad happy. Mainly. My mom would have been cool with it, but my dad was the one you need to do, and he just all that heat. So I went there. I majored in psychology and business.
Okay.
I went there, and then when my time was up at UH, when I was done, and again laid off anyway.
Oh, so you get a job after U of H?
Had a job.
And where's this job with? This is like a.
I was working as an ABA therapist. I was working in a clinic working with children who had autism, ADHD, Asperger's, all on that spectrum. So I felt like it put my psychology degree to really good use though, because I was like, what am I gonna do with this? I have no idea what to do with this.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna be a psychiatrist. Like, that's not how it works. You gotta go to med school for that, like med school. To be like Frazier, I want to be like what Frazier does. He went to med school. I didn't know that.
So that's 4 years, right? Or is it 6 years to
Yeah,
get?
like 6.
Oh wow.
And I was like, man, cause I was like, yeah, I'll be like Frazier, man. I'll do that too. I get talk radio show and all that. And I was like, but they didn't show that he went to med school on the show. They didn't show that part.
They didn't show that part. Yeah,
it's a scam. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, so can't do that. And I was working at that job. I was like, it felt great. And then next thing you know, I find out, hey, in 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, gotta make some cuts. Can't keep you on.
Wow.
So I was like, okay. After all that, went to school, and I ended up the whole point of going to school was to avoid not having a job and being unemployed and pretty much like, butt out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I went through all that to end up in the exact same position that I didn't want to be in. And so for me, it was like that epiphany moment, like God telling me, like, you wasted that time trying to do something somebody else wanted you to do instead of following your own dreams.
Yeah.
This is the reward of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I can't do this, man. I was like, I'm already in all this debt, no job, and like, what do I do now? And my dad's suggestion was, go back, get more education. Go and get your master's. Go and get your MBA. Go and take the loans. Go to grad school. And I was like, I'm already in tremendous debt.
Yeah.
With no way of paying this back. And that debt is real, man. That 6-month grace period goes by really quickly.
Yes.
When you can't find a job. And so it flew by, and I was like, I could either take on another $60,000 worth of debt for this master's degree and maybe get a job in something I didn't want to do, or I could like take what I got left in my account. I had like a couple hundred, had to be like $300-400. I was like, you can try to get you a laptop and a camera, and start pull out your old stand up, pull out that writing book again, and make these videos on YouTube and try to make it happen. And I chose that route, and my dad was not pleased with that for a long time.
Did you end up getting another job while you did this, or was this your sole thing you were doing?
No, I had a job, the whole time through. Like that was the thing too. But the jobs that I was getting, they weren't the jobs that my dad wanted. He's like, you need to get a job in the hospital. Why can't you call this doctor and tell him to make?
So what were the jobs you were getting?
So I was working. I think I was doing like odd jobs at first. Like, I remember I was. Cause I really wanted to make money, because I was like, yo, you got to figure out ways how to make money though. So
yeah,
one of the odd jobs I had was I would get old Keurigs, and I would fix them up, and I sell them.
The coffee machine.
Yeah, coffee machine.
Oh wow, okay.
I fix them up and I sell them on Craigslist. So like there was a company that I knew of, like they sold like the old ones. They sold them damaged because they didn't work. So I got you get them for cheap. I'd buy like 4 or 5 of them for like maybe like $10 each, right? I buy $5 each right now. I YouTube how to fix them. Go in there, fix whatever need wrong and fix it, make it work, and then I turn around and I sell them for like 60, 70.
Really?
Yes, I was doing that, and I was selling Keurigs for a while to flip that money, and I also worked for the school district.
Okay.
So my dad wasn't happy about either one. My dad, he was like, you need to.
What do you say about the coffee machines?
Yes. so you're selling, so you're a walking Starbucks. So you say you're walking Starbucks now. Is that the goal? Selling coffee, like organic or gold, is all you're trying to do. I was like, Pop, it's not this. I'm just trying to make money to supplement what I'm doing, because the rhythm I had was like make the money to pay bills. Cause this time I got family. I can't just be like, all right, I'm gonna just whatever, like not just take a chance, because I have responsibilities still. I got a family.
That family puts a big serious stamp on things, doesn't it? If
sure
it's just you can have the chili in a can, or buy a pack of hot dogs and have one a night. But family's not going to go for that.
Yeah,
so you started making the videos when you were unemployed. What did they start to hit? When did you start to get your groove when you were doing that?
The groove happened when I want to say I was working only solely for Cypher, because I put down the Keurig thing at one point, because it became too much work to fix them up and all that. Because at first there was some of those easy fixes, whatever. All I needed was just a quick few tweaks of it. Some of them I'm like, okay, this is a lot of work. I'm up here working on Keurigs at 2 in the morning. Like, this isn't what I want to do for my life. You can fall into
you
fall into those little pockets.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let me get out of this. And so I ended up switching what I did at Cypher. Before I was subbing.
Yeah.
What I did, I started working at a place called Club Rewind. Shout out to Club Rewind, Cypher ISD. When I worked with them, it was a split shift. So I would get there in the morning, work there from 6 to 8:30 a.m. Work with the kids. When the kids arrive there, playing board games and help them with homework if they need help and things like that. And then so I'd work from 6:30 to 8:30. I'd leave there, go to my house, get home around 9 a.m. I'd make videos from 9 to about 2. So I'd spend that time working on videos for YouTube, Facebook, researching and writing my jokes. And so I would do that, and then when 2:45 hit, I get ready for work, get back to the site for like 3:30, stay there until 7, so I could still get my 6 to 8 hours in each day. And after that, I'd go do a show. And I did that for about 3-4 years straight.
When you say do a show, is this like an open mic night you're going to, or you actually scheduled your own show?
Oh yeah, open mics. This is all open mics.
Yeah. This is the ground for you to go try out.
Nobody's paying money to see me, y'all. Nobody's paying no kind of bread to see me tell no kind of jokes.
So how did you go over that first time you got on that open mic? And I know that I've done it a couple times, and you get this kind of weird, nervous feeling you've never had before because you want it to be so good.
Yes.
Yeah, and sometimes it turns out so bad.
Yes, that's literally what was my biggest fear. Because I've done stand-up before. I've done events at churches and family events and things like that though. But I never done comedy club open mic, which is improv.
Little rougher too, and it's not your family out there. Or
it's
friends.
not. Yeah, exactly. It's not people who's cheering you on now. Even if the joke wasn't funny, they'll be like, well, we know what he meant. Bless his heart. Keep going. Stuff like that. But keep going, baby. Take your time, baby. You get that. They show love like that. But you ain't getting on a comedy club.
Yeah, you're like, get off the stage.
Yeah, you getting booed, roasted, and so
What was the first club? What was the first one you went to?
Improv. Houston Improv because everyone I had looked online like, yo, where can I find an open mic? Because I didn't know about it because I was doing my thing like my own comedy. You needed a comedian, I'll come because I wasn't versed in like the comedy community like that at that time. I was solely like more or less a missionary. I was doing my own thing because I worked alone for so long. That's kind of like my thing. Also my Achilles, in a way, but. I found out about open mics on Tuesday nights, and I went up there, and that's when I met Ali Sadiq.
Okay.
Yeah, I met him, and I knew we all know who he is.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I didn't think I could go up there and just approach him like that, because we're so I'm thinking it's levels to this thing, whatever. So I was like, and I was gonna walk out, and I was like, no, I'm gonna do this, whatever, because like he like using the beat. Listen, Ali looks like he's in a bad mood a lot.
Yes, he does. He does.
But he'll be having
shout out to Ali. Yeah.
Shout out to Ali, man. But he'll be in a bad mood.
Or he's like super tired.
It's
but he's not. He's got a lot of energy. Yeah. He's just kind of like thinking and all that stuff.
He's a cool dude, but like just the demeanor though. You'll think that though, but you start talking like, hey, what's going on? You right? You'll be like, oh, what? I thought you was mad.
Yeah.
But so he was looking like he was like it was a show, whatever, and the comedians be in his face every 2 seconds. This is back when he was doing Comedy Junkies at Improv.
Yes.
Everyone's trying to get on the show. It's a billion comedians. I'm like, yo, don't waste your time, man. When I was getting ready to walk out, and I was like, bro, you didn't come here to do this, man. You came here to get on that stage. And I was like, even if he says no, all he can say is no.
Yeah.
And like he can have you arrested. You know what I mean? Like, just say no. So
don't bother me, kid. Yeah.
I asked Ali. I was like, hey Ali, my name is Chindu, man. I wonder if I get 5 minutes on the open mic, and he was like, all right, I'll put you on, man. I gotta see what you looking like. No, at first I asked him if I could get on a Comedy Junkie show. That's what I asked first. Yeah. He's like, oh no, man, I gotta see what you do, man. And I was like, well, I can send you a tape of my work. He's like, oh no, I don't want no tape, because I had tape of me doing shows. He's like, no, I don't want no tape. You know what I'm saying, in my head. So I was like, in hindsight, that makes sense though, because my tape is me at my family reunions and at these church events where they're not gonna like boo you like that.
Yeah.
They're gonna be polite. And I was like, okay, so I want to see you on stage. And so so I came back the next week. He said, come back next week. I'll put you on. So I had got my 5 minutes ready. Call me up. He's like, I'm gonna tell you how to shoot y'all, okay? This next act, I don't know him, okay? He's talking about, I don't know him, all right? So if he sucked, ain't on me.
Yeah.
Give it up for Chinadu. And what I appreciated it was firstly, like, he gave me 5 minutes because he didn't have to.
Yeah.
Because I feel in this industry, though, like, nobody owes you anything.
Yep, you're right.
It's a big thing, and, like, people kind of get their feelings about that. But Ali don't owe me nothing. He gave me my 5 minutes, and if he didn't do anything else for me at that point, he already did enough right there.
Yeah.
My 5 minutes. I went up there, I did my thing, and he said my name right.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for me, too, because, sometimes...
Did you ever think about, like, and I know it would be terrible if you did you ever think about changing your name for comedy purposes?
Honestly, it never crossed my mind, because I was like, Chinadu is already, like, a name. Like,
I mean, it's so unique, but you know how you've heard stories about in the past of, people who've changed their name for a lot more show business type name, but you're the only Chinadu, so you made the right choice.
Yeah, I feel most times when people hear the name Chinadu, I'm like, yo, that guy from Houston, they think of me, because I felt like my name was like a Sinbad, like you say just that one name, and that's just, you rock with that, and that's what I wanted, just me as Chinadu, and
well, it's kind of funny. It's the opposite thing for me. the one time I wanted to do it, I said, "Can I get on your open mic Tuesday night?" He goes, "Come on Tuesday night." And so I go there to be on the open mic, the early show, which is like 5 to 7. He goes, "No, I put you on the Comedy Junkies." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you got 5 minutes." I got 5 minutes. So I do a killer 4 minutes, and you look at that big clock. I'm like, "Yeah, I got a minute to go. Oh boy, okay." So I didn't come out with the great resolve that I had in the 4 minutes, but you got to honor that 5 minutes you're given, and you got to do it. You can't just run off the stage. But so how did that first time go?
It went. I would say, in my opinion, decent.
Uh-huh.
I would never say, "Oh, I killed it." I did not kill it like that. It was solid laughs throughout. I didn't get a standing O, nothing like that, but it was like, "Oh man."
It was encouraging.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, I can do this. I can do this again. Yeah.
It was enough for Ali. I asked Ali how it was, and Ali was like, he looked at me. He said, "I swear, that's what he said." It's cool. And that's it. And I was like,
yeah.
I don't know if that was bad or not, but then the next day,
Uh-huh.
he texted me like, "Hey man, you did a good job out there, man. He gave me some good advice, like, yo, do this and this and this." And I saw him the next time, he gave me even more advice. He told me, don't be married to certain jokes. Like if that joke, even though you love it, and I think he saw one of my jokes on my set. He's like, "I've seen your show a couple times. Like this is one joke you tell, it
Every
don't
time.
land the right you wanted to land, but you keep telling it." He said, "Don't be married to some jokes though, because you like it. It has to be it has to hit, and if it don't hit, it's gonna pull down your set." And then he was right.
Yeah.
So
were you doing mostly family stuff, the stuff that you kind of held over from you did that you knew that worked?
Yeah, I was doing like my killer church stuff, the stuff that I know we go over, whatever. But then it wasn't really me talking about. I was talking about scenarios and whatever. And because when I was younger, I was talking about my life. And you leave stand up for so long, you kind of forget that. And I was like tell them about who you are. So the set I was using for a while, I scrapped the whole thing, all the jokes, whatever. And I was like, "Yo, sit down and tell them about you." And I started off, and this is what all comedians should do: take your most embarrassing moment, and turn it into a story. And that's how you can build your first little set. And that took my most embarrassing moment, one of them most embarrassing moments, and I turned that into my first jokes. And then from there, I continued to write, and I think it was like 1 year I just got into a zone, and I wrote like 3 hours worth of material, and I just I broke all that 3 hours down to my first hour, and that's when I used for my name is Shindu, the first tour I did.
So, are you going out, like you said, that schedule you gave us earlier? Are you going out every night when there is an open mic, and are you going out there pretty much every week, like 5 times a week?
Yeah, I was going out there as many times as I could.
Yeah.
And I want to thank my wife on here too, though. Shout out to my baby Amorous. This is the bonus interview too, though. So she don't like being on camera too much these days. No, she's on it now for our cooking show now, but my wife's very much so a behind the scenes type person.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of patience involved in you being gone every night.
Yes, and I work for the school district though, so I wasn't making no crazy checks. Okay.
Yeah.
My wife's checks were were really for a good while. Were like paying library bills. Cause I was working, but at school district, school, we don't make no money.
Yeah.
I'm making crazy bread. So, she was always down, and I mean, she helped me with material. She would tell me if jokes weren't funny or not, though. Because with my wife has no problem telling me I'm not funny.
Jokes aren't funny.
So if I can tell a joke and have her cracking up laughing, I know it's a hit.
Okay.
And so that's what we would do. I would work on jokes with her, and then I'd probably go out, if I could, 3 to 5 times a week to do a show.
That's so. When you're doing this, are you getting kind of anybody seeing you from the club saying, "Hey, can you open up for this?" Is this leading to other comedy jobs, or are you just kind of, warming up and getting your main show ready?
I felt I was just doing my own stuff right now, because I'm gonna be real, and it's no disrespect to any other people though, but I never got calls to be in stuff. They were like, "Hey, we got this person, you want to host this, do like that." I never got them kind of calls that and. For me, I never look for it. I know some comedians will, they'll take that as a chip on the shoulder, whatever though. But for me, I always looked at this industry like nobody owes me anything.
Yeah.
Like anything I get is myself is what I have to earn. I get it. You get what you earn, and that's it. Like nobody owes you favors, no calls. If this person got that call from hey, we'll put this person on, and good for them, man. That's their break. It's not yours. So
so you mentioned MySpace and Facebook, the early phases. Is that what kind of sold your videos, or was more when YouTube really started hitting big, when you started doing the videos? And what was the first video that kind of really took you to new levels, where people started remembering your name and subscribing to your channel and everything?
It was definitely seeing the YouTube wave definitely encouraged me to get back into that because I made videos in high school. I for the talent show that I did my first stand up to. We did a intro video package too, though. So that was like ironic that we did that way back then. And the wave of it that was going on with MySpace and Facebook though, because my intentions were to make videos for that platform, but college came up and I did none of that.
Yeah.
And so it was really me thinking back to those days, like you remember MySpace and Facebook, and they blew up and all that, and like YouTube's out here now, and I'm like, yo, you could do this though, because for me, like I said, when you have a family, you can't be like, oh yeah, man, I got an opportunity to go out to Kentucky or LA to do a show real quick. I'm in Houston.
Yeah.
So I was like, so the only way I can reach these people across the world like that without flying out with money I didn't have is like, yo, let me make skits. I make this because I write anyway. I was like, the skits. I looked at it like this is a way to show your comedic, intelligence though. Like it's not stand up. If you can make these funny skits online, they'll laugh at these, and at the end I'll be like, yo, if you like these videos, come see me live. Yeah. So it was like my calling card. So it was the YouTube methods will really help me realize that you have to expand more in comedy to really get over. And the video that helped me get over was a video called "I'm from Houston," and this is no joke. This is with 979 The Box again. 979 The Box had a hashtag making that I heard Kiati on the radio. He was like, "Yo, we got a thing called hashtag I'm from Houston." Tell me, yo, I'm so Houston thing right now. I say it on air. And I remember I had wrote a video script called "I'm from Houston" a year ago. It was about I'm from Houston, but such I'm from Houston, and I was like, because this is when that I'm so trend was going on. I'm so
I remember the whole I'm so Houston thing.
All that. So I was like, yo, this could be it. I was like, I wrote the video, I wrote the script out, and I was like, if you make this one right now and the hashtag going on with 979 The Box in the city, you might get the goal is to get 300 views. Like you might get 300 views for the video, man. That was big. 300 videos, like you might get that. So I made that. I wrote the script. Ended up being late to work that day too because I made the video about I'm from Houston, and I was like, I should have been there at 3:00. I got there at like 5:07, so I was really late. I got in trouble. My supervisor was there that one day. That was a surprise site inspection that day. I didn't know. So, I work with kids too, though, so I have my group and all that. The coordinators were there, and I got to work. I made the video, uploaded it, then check on it. Got to work. My supervisor was there, and the manager. They looked pissed at me. They're like, where were you, whatever? Because they were calling me, and I told I wasn't picking up. I was like, I told the person on site I'm gonna be late. I told the manager on site I'm gonna be late. Watch my group for me. Yeah. And so I got there. I got written up. Got chewed out for a little bit, and then it's bad when like your bad kids act good. That's when you're in trouble. They were like, cause I got to my group, and they were like, Mr. O, they're in there, Mr. O, and then like it's cool, and then like one kid was acting, he's like, chill, like this. I was like, man, I must be in real trouble. Whatever. So I went home that day. I was like, man, that was a rough day at work. I hope I don't get fired. But then when I got home, that video, I'm from Houston, I posted at 1:30. No, I posted it at, I posted at 4:47, I think. And I got to work at 5:07. I posted at 4:47. I got home at like 8:45-ish, 8:50-ish, and that video had 180,000 views. Jeez. Like that quick. And I couldn't believe it. And I kept refreshing it. And I'm gonna lie, man, when I saw that it was my video, and I was reading the comments, and they're like, yo, this is the dude Chinadu, man. Chinadu you, and on my inbox, it's like, yo, your video's going viral. I'm not gonna lie, I cried. I swear I cried for a good 10, 15 minutes, man. I was just sitting there like that whole like
all the stuff you've been through with the open mics and stuff.
Yeah, man. I was like,
finally cut through. Yeah. And this was from I remember from the video. This is kind of like the start of that format you used, right in front of your. Yeah. Where is the famous spot? Is that like upstairs in your office? Is that in front of a closet where no one is? The first one. Where is the spot in your house?
The first one was literally like an archway in my hallway, like between my living room and the kitchen, like right there in a little area. Because I wanted the area to film, but like my wife was like, "No, I want you to get pictures of our family and stuff like that on the internet, whatever. So you need to find somewhere that's not like pictures of our family and all that." So I was like, "Okay, where do we have it?" I was like, "Okay, I can either film in the bathroom or I got this one space right here." And I was like, okay, take this one space, but I was like, with my concept stuff, I was like, you have the small space, but in the confines of your video, make it bigger. So that's why I did the cutaways and things like that, and the trap doors and all kind of, and the sound effects and all that. So even though it's a small space, when you see the video, it feels expanded though because of what I'm putting in, like the music and the the cutaways and the costume
Yeah,
changes and
well,
all
you
that.
didn't know you were branding. I mean, basically, when I did every video, like 10 or 20 videos after that, it's like, oh, it's a Chendu video. I'm gonna watch it because they're seeing that same background.
Yes.
And you're like, that's what I did too. I said, okay, he's got a new one. I think you did one on Whataburger and a bunch of stuff. But you had the same format, and sometimes when people are scrolling on Instagram, that same format will catch. So you were kind of branding just by accident. that little archway or whatever that it was.
Yeah.
And that worked out for you. So you do that one, and how many to this date do you know that actual video has? Because I know that there's people that go back and watch videos.
To this day, I think it has over 4 million views to this day.
Jeez.
4 million about Houston. And I thought it was so crazy because
Yeah.
I felt like I was only expecting it to do well locally. That was my, because it's Houston. I'm like, no, we know our culture out here though, but it hit over 1 million views in a day. And next thing you know, I'm looking at the comments like, yo, I'm out here in the Netherlands, I'm out in Boston, and this and this, and like, yo, once I went out to Houston one time, and this is so true. And there's people who used to live in Houston that now live in other places that are sharing this video with other friends. And then from there, they started watching African Dad videos and things like stuff. Even the things that don't have anything to do with Houston, they started watching and expanding in.
So was African Dad before you started doing those kind of themed videos? Like because I remember I took part in one of them.
Yes, you did.
Which I was very honored to take part in.
Yes, you did.
And act in that. Act in that. Let me just put it that way. So those videos were first.
Yeah.
And it's a great character because you've lived the life so long. And what do you see the evolution of that character? Do you think you still do it in your shows, and do you think that character could possibly lead to something, once you do get to be a bigger comedian? You mentioned sitcoms and Frasier and stuff like that. I think your material, once you find that one person who can make that happen, could lend itself to some of those possibilities. Do you ever see that for African Dad, or is that just something that you feel it's a skit that you have to do?
No, I absolutely see it. When I first did African Dads, I was doing them in front of a green screen. It was just me talking in the green screen, like going on rants, like my dad would go on rants.
Yeah.
And then those are actually my first successful videos. Like every video I was making out before that was getting like 10 views and like 8 thumbs down. Thumbs down.
Yeah, you're like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah,
the lighting's nice, right?
Yeah, like it's good. But African Dads will always get like hundreds of views, thousands of views. They'll always do well. So when I took it and put it in a skit format, as if it was like its own little 1-minute sitcom, that's when it started taking off. And the goal, those are actually my favorite videos to make. In reality though, I love making the videos about Houston and Texas, but my absolute favorite ones are African Dad because it's so personal for me. Because they're all based on true stories. Like I've never made up a single one. Like
I believe the answers. You've talked about your dad. I believe that every one of those words have come from his mouth.
Yeah,
there's nothing you've embellished.
I'm not that talented, y'all. People think that how do you make this up? I didn't make any of these up, y'all. These are true stories that happened. But the goal with him is before COVID, I was actually talking with AJ Kelly Productions, the people who are making this video.
Okay.
Shout out to AJ Kelly Productions, by the way. Got a great film work company. Book and hire them guys. And let them know. But I was actually getting ready to team up with AJ Kelly Productions for African Dad the movie.
Oh wow.
We had at the time before COVID, we had full sponsorship. I had about 14 companies that had bought ad space in the film.
Oh, really?
And it was enough that I could pay the film crew, pay cast, and like that. It wasn't no huge budget, but it was a little more than enough to get it done.
What are you talking about, like ad space? Like you're like walking in the kitchen, you see like a Dunkin' Donuts in the background,
like
that kind of thing.
Yeah, like some of the scenes were going to be filmed at their restaurants, their business, whatever. Like,
okay.
Well,
you do what you got to do, right?
Yeah, and for all independent filmmakers though, if you want to raise money like that, there is the Kickstarter, there is the GoFundMe. But I feel the most effective way, in my opinion, is to put them in your actual product, especially if you have the audience. Though, because I had the eyes and things like that, and I was reaching millions of people a week. And so I sent out it was so much work. I created like my EPK, my electronic press kit.
Yeah.
I showed them my stats, everything like that. I sat in so many business meetings to get funding and things like that.
Well, that's great. I didn't know this was all going on. So what was without giving too much away, because this will eventually get done when COVID clears up and stuff like that. I write scripts too, so I know that there's circumstances sometimes when we had one, it's going to get made, and then Katrina came and wiped out our set in Louisiana. Oh boy, so that never got made. But I do think eventually it'll get made. What is the plot, without giving too much away, of African Dad?
I will say African Dad is tasked with taking over his son's school and class. A few events happen where a lot of the staff leave, and now they're tasked with having to staff these students up. But the school is so notoriously, there's so many issues with the school that they had a hard time finding teachers though. So they enlist African Dad, and he comes in and he enlists the help of some of his friends. You'll see in there, and they take over this school.
So is this like a Eddie Murphy thing where you're playing all the parts?
Yeah, it'll be, in a way. Yeah, I do play more than 2 parts in the film. I have a great cast, a lot of great comedians that people may or may not know.
Yeah,
and it was a great team, a great premise, and it'll still happen. It's just that unfortunately because of COVID, like probably out of those 14 companies, 13 of them called me and say, hey, we need to pause because we're going through.
Well, this sets up my cameo now. I didn't know about it, but now I can actually be in the film.
Yes.
I appreciate it, Chinadu.
He's in it, guys. Guarantee he's in it, y'all.
Somewhere I'm in there, right? So that's great. So African Dad was the first one that kind of, like you said, they got likes, and then you did the Houston video. We talked about this before, and I think it's important that people know that make videos. You got to be consistent. And the one thing you did, you were disciplined in like, I'm going to release a video. Mm-hmm. And what was that schedule? And then you adhered to it. You actually did it too. So what did you do? Because discipline apparently leads to great rewards, and it worked out for you.
Yeah. The consistency is very important, man. Shout out to Eric Thomas. He's a motivational speaker. He's one that really hammered that into me with his talks and his books. When I first started doing the videos, I told myself make one video a week. I said every Sunday at 7 p.m. make a video, because I felt Sunday 7 p.m. is when people are winding down. They're more than likely in front of their phones. Nobody's at work. Everyone's at home. So they're just kind of getting ready for the work week. Though it's a good chance for them to watch a video. And I did that for the first few months to a year. No, first few months. So then I was like, yo, I need them to see me more, because I wasn't getting the traction I need though. So I went to 3 times a week. I said, see me on Mondays. Was it Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or Monday, Wednesdays, and Sundays? Though I did that, and I talked with my mentor and good friend, Kevin Fredericks.
Yeah.
And he told me what he was doing. And he was like, yo, you got to be consistent, man, because it's a lot of people doing what you're doing right over. And I was like, well, how do I do it? He was like, I'm doing mine every day. I was like, every day? Yeah. And then I was like, I can't do that. He's like, you have to find a way. He said, even if it's not like a well-edited video, if it's just you in front of somewhere just talking about what's going on in the day, you need to be up there every day. So I went from 3 times a week to 7 days a week. So I made a video every single day, and I did that for the next, that was in 2 years. I made one every single day, 2 to 3, 2 years.
So that's, wow, that's a lot of, so were you noticing people were liking this, or were they like was the quality ever kind of fading on it? Did you feel like you were kind of burning the candle where one video wasn't as good as the other one, where you were kind of like, I don't know if I can keep this up?
Absolutely, yeah. Because there were some videos I would have more time to make than others, and there were some that would happen. Something happened, I just pull out my phone real quick. Yeah, you have this, and they'll do that real quick and upload it. And my concern was that if it wasn't edited well or even have the good sound and all that it wouldn't travel well. But in reality, like it was the videos that I was making, like shotgun, like a trending topic would happen, I talk about it immediately. They'll start doing very well, and it was just me just giving my personality. And that's when I kind of realized, like, with these videos, it doesn't have to always be a skit. It can be you, like being the stand-up comedian in front of the camera and talking about that subject for 2 to 3 minutes, and they'll like it. And I started doing that. Yeah. And me just talking about it as if I were on stage. And that's where I kind of started getting more of a breakthrough, because it's really just me transferring like my on-stage presence to a video instead of having a live crowd. Just transfer it instead of like a performance, not just a conversation you're having with the camera. And like those started doing very well, though. But the consistency of it was.
So 2 years, you're doing a video every day, and it pays off.
Yeah, like the video that went viral, the I'm from Houston video that went viral, that was video 978.
Okay.
That was
because I'm thinking when you're telling this story that you're piggybacking off that. That goes to show you that you're going to hit that one out of the park. It might be video number 1. It'd be video where you said 978.
978. I will never forget that number. 978, and I made it because I was like. Because at that point I was like, yo, man, like you made so many, and I told myself though, I was like, but when you blow up, man, when you hit, you'll have a catalog, and that's what happened. Like when I went viral, they went back, they started watching all my old videos. So videos that I made in 2013, that had 78 views. Now I had 30,000.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's just goes to show how it happened. And it was that term, stay ready, so you don't have to get ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And I was happy that in terms of that video content that I had enough for people to binge watch and get invested in who I was and really like get into my characters that I had and really want to see more of it.
Yeah. And we are living a time, though, when everything is documented and that work is rewarded. Like you said, once somebody discovers you, they go back. And that's why I tell everybody, even if they do a podcast, they do videos, even if you're doing once a week, let them know it's every Tuesday.
Yes.
Let them know it's every Wednesday.
The consistency.
Yeah, then you'll get that into their head, and then that backlog. Even if you doing it, that's 50. If you do it once a week, it's 52 shows a year. So you have a backlog. It might take you 3 years to get going. But so now you make the videos. You start getting your own shows. Is that when you start booking your own shows off the popularity of your videos?
Yes. Once the first viral video went hit, and I got to thank my friend Chase DeRusso. Shout out my friend, good friend Chase DeRusso. He's currently on tour with Joe Coy right now.
Okay.
Doing
Wow.
Thing, man. Yeah. Shout out to my guy Chase and Joe. He was the one who helped me get my night at the Improv because, like I said before, so I didn't know anybody in those systems and things like that. I don't, and if they don't know you, they don't know you.
Some of that, they just want to fill the chairs.
Yeah.
And if they don't think you can do that, they're not going to just say, "Oh, it's Chinadu."
Yeah, because to them, videos are one thing though, but because those worlds aren't, they're not like meshed.
And sometimes the video world is frowned upon. We've had plenty of comedians I've interviewed that are like, YouTube.
Yes, that's what it was.
YouTube comedian. It's not a real comedian.
Yeah, and for some reason, the hard part about it at first was that's what I was labeled with because since they only saw my videos, they never saw me do stand up. My stand up shows were at churches and events like that, and not knowing that I was a stand up comedian first when I was 16.
Yeah, they think you just did some funny videos and now you think you could take it to stage.
Yeah, and some comedians, they took it offensively that way because they thought I was just like some social media guy.
You're crashing their party.
Yeah.
You're like you didn't put in the work. You didn't do the open mic nights and get your material all cultivated like they did.
Yeah,
but you did.
Yeah, I know that I did. I actually did, but they didn't know that though.
Yeah.
So but Chase was the person who vouched for me. He was like, "No, man, this guy." This dude is really funny, guy, because he saw me do my open mics before. He's like, no, this guy's really funny, y'all. Like, we give him a night, he can do well. And he saw like all my videos. Views are one thing, but the engagement. He's like, oh, people are really commenting, like, yo, when can we see you perform? He's like, I'm reading the comments. They're looking for him, and so he helped me get a night at Improv. It was August 14th, 2017. I did my show a week. I believe it was a week or a week and a half before Harvey hit.
Yeah.
So this is like right before Harvey came.
Yeah.
So I did my show at the Improv. My wife was 8 months pregnant. I'll never forget. She's in the crowd, 8 months pregnant, and I sold out the Improv. I think 2 weeks before my show even hit. So it was already sold out.
Yeah.
And my Improv people, they were like, because I think my first 2 days I was on sale. I sold like 200 tickets. Like the first day, they were like,
yeah,
this is crazy.
And believe me, some big name acts, because I know the guys at the Improv sometimes need a little help. They needed that radio help. You think, oh, what he doesn't need to do radio. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he definitely needs.
He comes here every year. He needs. People have seen him before. So
but the power of social media helped because like people were ready to see me there. So we sold it out and again I ain't gonna lie, man, I'm not a crier per se, like that though, but like, it was definitely an emotional moment for me, man, because like the Improv itself, that comedy club, if you're a comedian coming out of Houston, it's important that you have a show there under your belt in the comedy world among other comedians.
Yeah.
Because if they don't know you, if they're not familiar with social media, they're not gonna know who you are.
Yeah.
But for me, like now that I'm in that Improv circuit, I did that show there. And they're like, okay, he really can do this. And so,
the Improv Name was the one that kind of really launched that stand-up comedian craze from like late 70s or 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And you could play Funny Bones or the Chuckle Hut or these other places, but you say Improv, that's just has a whole other thing.
Whole other name. And those other clubs are incredible as well too though. But the name Improv, that like I said, that Improv, you have to have that in order if you want to be taken seriously though. So I was able
I probably would have cried too.
Listen, it was sold out. Yeah. And like I did the show there, and my wife was there, and then from there, that's when I was like, yo, you can do this, because I needed I needed to know that I could bring out the people though, because you can be popular online.
You can have all those hits.
Yeah.
But
But
will they come to see you?
Will they come to see you?
Will they get in their car?
Yes. Pay money.
Yeah.
And come see you.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and then from there, I did improv, and after that, I never did an improv show after that though, because honestly, things with improv, they're always booked up. So I was grateful to get that night.
Well, you're an example. And then I also interviewed an internet comedian, JP Sears. I don't know if you have, but he's got like millions of hits too. And I think it's a smart way to get your audience already built. Mm-hmm. And then if you're a comedian like you were, you can really prove yourself and show yourself like, oh, I not only can do this, I can make funny videos, but I can give you a show too.
Yes.
So, and it really kind of hits home what you did in the past. So for you, it was the perfect situation.
It really was. And,
yeah. So did TV come after that? Did someone see you at the Improv and like, this guy's selling out the Improv? Let's get him on TV.
Yeah, actually, TV came when I was actually in the middle of the tour. I made my own independent tour because being from Houston, you see guys like Slim Thug and Zero. Yeah. I knew for sure whatever you do independent, I knew that hands down. So. I was like, so I built my own tour. I was doing my own state tour, so I was, renting venues across the state, doing shows. And this was when I was already doing text and review videos every week. I've been doing those. Yeah. But what really helped me was a guy at KHOU in their CBS sports department named Jason Bristol. Shout out to Jason Bristol. He saw my Astro review videos. This is when they won the World Series though. So yes. When they made the playoffs for that first time, I started reviewing their games though. I review all their postseason games. Though,
I remember it was the same format you had. Same place, but you did have the sound effects.
Yeah, sound effects. Reviewing the videos also, and like I do those, and those are getting like between 1 to 3 million views. Wow! Because like there was like huge traction about.
Yeah, sports. We'll get you that big audience.
Yeah, it's sports. Yeah, and my memes were like blowing. They were blowing up too. And Jason Bristol hit me up. He was like, "Hey man, would you wanna?" He said, "Would you mind if I can I repost one of your videos that you did? Because they're only a minute long." Yeah. He's like, "I have a minute slot on my show called Sports Extra." I was like, "Yeah, I watched that show. I watched it." And I was like, "You'll be on there?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll be on there. Cool. I did it for free. Yeah. There wasn't even a paycheck attached to it too. And that was a lesson that I hope other creators will understand is that sometimes some opportunities will not come with a paycheck. Yeah. And I did that show for a year without getting paid.
And that's just a trade-off for publicity. You get another big audience.
Yeah, another big audience. And I shared those. And then I got on when the Astros, they won in the World Series, whatever. Now they was like, yo, they went really well. And then people from the higher up corporations from New York, they saw my content. Uh-huh. And it's a little bit of a long story. I hope I'm going. But they saw that content, they liked it. They decided they like, yo, let's pay him. So I got on payroll for it. Because I was doing it for a year. Yeah. And I wasn't even looking to get paid. I was just happy to be part of the show. And
it's publicity for you, and you got like some people that might not see you online, some older folks that might be like, oh, he's a funny guy.
And that's exactly what happened too. Like especially like the older crowd, they're not on Facebook, things like that. They were seeing me like, you're that sports show guy. We love your stuff, whatever. And so they did that, and then after doing that, I got picked up, and then that's when the morning show came. Another person from New York, from Tegna, came out. He actually didn't know I was even on the sports show. They wasted. I felt bad because they spent.
They spent double the money.
Yeah, they spent money doing a whole poll because they wanted to redo the morning show because they wanted to add a comedy element to it, and so they spent more resources doing a poll saying who's popular in Houston, across Texas, whatever. And I found out I polled at the top among like all demographics and race and things like that. They was like, yo, they like, because you're funny, you're clean, and like all races really like you. They told me like, yo, you appeal to everybody. Because I talk about every culture in my show. They're very diverse, and so and then they were like, and they told me, what do I do? I was like, I'm a comedian, and I was like, I also work on Sports Action. They were like, wait, the one here? You already work here? Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Like, oh man, come on, let's get started. I was like, okay, so that's how it happened. But it happened with me making those videos for free. And getting the opportunity from Jason Bristol on Sports Extra for free. It wasn't a paycheck attached to it. And I wasn't looking for one.
So was it more challenging in the morning? Because I know working on a morning show radio-wise that you have to have output every day. So sometimes some days are slower than others, and sports doesn't play all the time. Yes. So when you get your assignment, Chinadu, it would be funny if you did this, and you're thinking in your mind, oh, that wouldn't be funny. I don't really want to do that. Were you ever kind of cornered with stuff like that? You're like, oh, well, I got to make it work, and it turned out better than you thought.
Yes, because when sports isn't on, whatever, we would do celebrity news or stories across
Yeah.
sex or whatever. And so they would be, for the most part, they gave me creative control over what I would do. Whatever. They would send me certain stories that they would suggest. And I mean, it was a slow news week, for real slow. Even they were like, "Yo, this is slow, man."
You want to take this week off?
Yeah,
Chin?
yeah, exactly. I was like, "Yeah."
Good time for vacation there, Chin, dude.
Yeah. So there was one. There was one story they had. It was I can't remember what it was. I think it was a picture of a guy washing a bull at a car wash. That was all we had. We was like, "Yo, we have this," and I was like, "We can make this. Try to make this work." And so that one ended up being a huge story. We did it. Ended up being it did really well for the morning show and online.
So you did a viral video for it too, and just ranted about it.
Viral video, and then I did another one. It was a one has to go video because we had nothing else to do, whatever. And they were like, "Yo, you pick something," and it was like I had to be on the show Monday morning, and it's like Sunday afternoon. I'm like, "Yo, you don't have anything." And then I saw a commercial for Whataburger, and then right after that was DQ, and then right after that was HEB. And then what else was it? I think, and then I looked over and saw my Buc-ee's mug, and I was like, one of these has to go. And I was like, make that video. And I did that one, and they were like, okay, let's do this one. And that one ended up being a huge viral hit. I think that one got at least the comments itself was like over 4,000 comments about that video.
Yeah, sometimes it's always the simplest things
Yeah.
that you don't think are going to really take off that, everybody's invested in all those places that you mentioned.
Yeah,
So
and I mean, it was a whole debate. So much so that like the next week they had an actual debate about it, like on the news again. They're like, "That's good, yes."
So what's the goals for the future? Obviously, you told us about the movie, and hopefully that happens. But more shows. I know we're kind of waiting for this to kind of pass to kind of get back to normal.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen for you? You're continuing on with Channel 11. I think you just signed a new deal, right?
Yes, I'm on 3 of their shows now. H-Town Rush, the morning show, shout out to my morning show. I'll be joining Deborah Duncan on Great Day Houston. I'm on there once a week, with training topics, and I'm also on Sports Extra still as well. And the goal is just, of course, I'm still doing my limited seating tour, Laughter, Healing, Reloaded.
Yeah.
And the online experience is kind of a big part of what I feel the future is going to be for the next little bit.
Yes.
So my online shows and honestly just continue to making the people I love proud because and I on a personal level, and I don't want to cry on this whatever. I hope I don't cry. Yeah, if I start crying, I cut this camera. If I start crying, you cut this camera. You hear me? Okay. But this past year has taught me a lot about appreciation because the person that I tour with. His name was Justin Thompson. This person, all my tours have always been 2 to 3 man shows. I'm the headliner, and Justin will always either be my host or my feature. But this year he passed away. Sadly, he died on Super Bowl Sunday.
Wow.
Specifically, and it was hard because when I got the tour started, every intention of it was this was going to be the year, because up until that point, everything I had done was in Texas. This current tour was my first nationwide. So this one was in LA, Chicago, Phoenix, New York, Orlando, New Orleans. Like we had booked.
Everything was kind of set up.
We had.
Wow.
Me and my wife back in November 2019 set up this entire calendar. So we booked the venues. We did all this back in November, and so this tour was supposed to go from February to November. It was a long tour. We're gonna be gone every other weekend through November.
Yeah.
And I remember we found out he passed He passed Super Bowl Sunday, and it caught all of us off guard. I got a text from my friend Roxy Hayes, who told me what happened, and you always make fun of the people who call people who died on their phone, like you're calling a dead person's phone. You think it's dumb until you find out so you do it. And so you actually do it. I'm like, he's not dead. It's a hoax. And I'm calling, and I'm like calling, and it's the voicemail, and then I'm online, and I'm seeing all these, when you go on Facebook, and you see everything,
that, you realize it's real.
Yeah, it's real. And he passed Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, and we buried him that Wednesday. And the next day, I had to fly out to LA to start the tour.
Oh, wow.
And at that point, I couldn't delay anything because the pods were already made, tickets were already bought, and everything, and there was no way to slow down the tour or anything. So I had to, you have to put that to the side and get started. And then a month later, COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so that shut everything down anyway.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of time to be home with my family. I got to spend a lot more time with my daughter. I mean, I'm always with my daughter as well, anyway, though. But you had that time to do it though. And so being around her and just spending the extra time with her, it gave me a clearer perspective of a reminder as to why I do this.
Yeah.
It's not because I want to be a super popular comedian. I want to be the next Chappelle. It's because I want to do what I love, and I also want to be able to take care of my family. Like, my daughter is my why, and we were out. We were playing in the backyard one day, and we were reaching. It was a water day, and it's a video that she does. She watches where they reach up to touch the clouds. It's a video she does. And so we were out there, and it was like super cloudy day, and so we're looking up, she's doing this, Dad, reach the clouds for me, Dad, reach the clouds for me, whatever. And so we're reaching, and the video, there are things in the clouds. And so for her, she always say her dreams are in the clouds. And I remember that day. We were playing, and she told me we were reaching for the clouds. And she said, Dad, can you help me? Let's cut the cameras. She told me, Dad, can you help me? Can you help me reach my dreams? And when she said that epiphany, that hit me harder than most things. Is looking at her like, because she looked at me like, can you help me reach my dreams? Like, and I know what she meant by it. She didn't mean that literally, but the parallel I took with it was like, what you're doing now, you have to do this to help her to grow up and have a life that you didn't get to have. And so she is my motivation to do this every day, because I know having a daughter, especially a woman, a black woman too, there are a lot of things that I need to do and put in place in order for her to feel equal. Not even ahead in the world, just to feel equal. And I know that what I do now with comedy, and this is the tool that can help me do that. So I can't take my foot off the gas with this. I can't take it lightly. I can't play with it. I can't get distracted by groupies or anything like that, or drug use or anything like that. I have to stay focused. And so that really is my biggest motivation. So going forward, it's just to be the best comedian I can be, the best person that I can be for her. So everything's for her. And I didn't want to cry in this interview, man. Dang it, y'all got me crying in this interview,
Let's talk about something happy. I'm guessing with the successful comedy career and you being on TV and the videos that your parents came around.
Oh man, we can definitely. That's a great note to end on too, man. My mom was always supportive of comedy. My mom told me, she said, like, even if I was a garbage man, she was like, just be a good one. She said, if you're gonna be a garbage man, at least get garbage man of the month 1 year. That's my mom. Like, she's really all for like going for what she wanted, because her parents made her go to school and she didn't like that, so she didn't want to do that for us. Yeah. So she was always proud. My dad was never he was never with this. He didn't get on board with this until I joined KHOU.
And the TV thing was that,
yes.
And then you said that's that older demo. TV means something a little bit more to them than people. You know, my kids are all into TikTok and stuff. They TikTok YouTube stars, but he is that of the TV age. So that's the one that got him aboard.
That was because I was doing shows already. I was selling out shows and things like that. My dad wasn't caring. Are y'all going where to do what? Okay, because he's not there at the shows to see that it's sold out. It's hundreds of people here to see me perform. And so for me, like for him, seeing me on TV, that was the point. And my dad was bragging, look at my son on TV. This is his words exactly. I swear to God. Look at my son on TV with all of these good white people. You know what I'm saying? Look at these people. All of these good white people. Now I'm so proud of my son. You know, he's like that. So he did.
Did you ever give a compliment? Did he think does he think you're funny on TV?
Yes, he was like, yo, so look at my son making laugh. I was laughing the whole time. Now I was crying at home laughing. I'm like, really, Mom? And so the first time he came to a show, I'm not crying. It's just a hair in my eye. I'm not crying. I'm just like, the moment is past, y'all. I don't get my feelings like that, y'all.
He's still crying,
little
guys.
girl, y'all. But I did my first I taped my first hour special last year. I had done a 30-minute one, but this was my first hour special, and I taped it at I rented it at Memorial Auditorium out there in Spring ISD, because this is gonna be the biggest show ever, and that was that was the second show my dad came to. The first show he came to was in 2013-14. I thought I was ready then. I wasn't. I rented a venue that could seat 100 people. I saved money for like 5 months working for the school district to rent the venue. I had Papa Do's cater, had enough seats for 100 people, and only 8 people showed up.
What?
Including my dad. So my dad's on the front row like this show, and I got all these chairs. I mean, it's a whole thing of chairs.
Jeez.
It's wow. And it's like 5 people around him and like 3 way in the back. And it's like, and you know an event sucks when they walk in, they start pulling on the phone the whole time. That's when you know your event sucks.
Yeah.
Because you're on the phone the whole time. So I did my show. I had to do it like as usual. You know, they all laughed though, but you know, I had to do that show, act like it was a full crowd, and it was 8 people. Nobody bought a shirt. Everyone just said, thank you, appreciate it. You know, nobody bought a shirt. And I had a whole bunch of Papa Do's to take home. So, but this go around, the show I did last year, we had 1,000 people in attendance.
Wow.
We sold it out. I had it taped. And my dad came out, and my dad for the first time told me he was proud of me.
Wow.
That was the very first time in life he said, "I'm proud of you. You did a good job. Now look at this whole show," because it was packed in there, and he enjoyed the show. The jokes I told about him, he laughed at a lot too, because he thought it was funny. I didn't think he was gonna think it was funny.
Yeah.
But he thought it was hilarious. So because it's all true stories. So,
yeah.
They're proud of me now, but I felt it was just more of them things that they had to see how this was gonna go. You know? So.
Well, it all paid off for you, and you're doing it, and we'll just see with the COVID passing, and you're going to keep on doing it. I know you're doing shows now with masks and all that stuff too.
Yes.
So congratulations once again. I know that we met in the early video phases of your career, and I've just seen you keep on going higher and higher. And I do want that cameo, and I don't care if I'm a cop or
you're going to get it, man. Listen, y'all. This is
next door neighbor.
Y'all can put that. I put this on my father. He's going to be in this movie. Okay, you see my hand here on my father. He's going to be in this movie. You are going to be in African Dad movie, man. Hands down, man.
Hey, but thank you for giving me the chance to interview you and being on this. And this is for your VIP members,
yes,
right?
These are for the if you purchase a VIP ticket to the Live 3 Shilling online experience, you are watching this interview right now. If you didn't get it, you ain't seen it.
I don't come out unless it's VIP. I don't do any interviews.
Exactly. Listen, get your VIP ticket right now to see me cry, okay? Get your ticket, y'all. All right.
Hey, thanks, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, man.
No
Thank you so
problem.
much.
Thank you.
Yes.